June 8, 1967, the Eastern Mediterranean. The sun hangs high in a cloudless sky, its reflection shimmering on the calm, blue waters. Aboard the USS Liberty, an American intelligence ship, the mood is relaxed. The Six-Day War is raging between Israel and its Arab neighbors, but for the crew of the Liberty, it's a distant conflict. Observed from a safe 14 nautical miles off the coast of Egypt's Sinai Peninsula. The American flag flutters proudly from the mast, a clear symbol of neutrality in international waters. The ship is essentially a floating listening post, packed with sensitive surveillance equipment, but armed with only 4 .50 caliber machine guns for defense. Its mission is to monitor communications, not to fight. For the sailors on board, it's just another day at sea. Some are sunbathing on the deck, others are writing letters home. Below deck, technicians listen intently to the crackle and hiss of radio signals, piecing together the electronic puzzle of the war. Captain William McGonigal, a seasoned naval officer, oversees the operation with a steady hand. The Liberty is not a warship, it's a technical research ship. Its crew of 294 men are mostly technicians, linguists, and analysts. They are observers, not combatants, confident in the protection afforded by their flag and their position in international waters. The biggest concern on anyone's mind is the heat and when their next mail call will be. They have no idea that in a few short hours, their peaceful vessel will become the center of a terrifying and deadly storm. Shortly after dawn, Israeli reconnaissance aircraft begin circling the Liberty. They fly low, close enough for the American sailors to wave at the pilots. It's a friendly gesture, a common occurrence at sea. The crew isn't worried. They are clearly marked, flying a large American flag. The ship's markings, GTR-5, are painted in huge letters on its hull. They assume the Israelis are simply identifying them as any Navy would. For the next several hours, Israeli planes come and go. The crew on deck watches them, some even taking photos. The presence is constant, but not yet threatening. By early afternoon, the flyovers become more frequent, more aggressive. The planes no longer seem to be just observing. They are circling like predators, studying their prey. A sense of unease begins to creep across the ship. Captain McGonigal feels it too. Something isn't right. The sheer number of overflights is unusual. He orders his men to their general quarters stations as a precaution. Still, no one could imagine what was about to happen. At approximately 2 p.m. local time, the sky erupts. Without warning, two unmarked Mirage fighter jets scream towards the Liberty, cannons blazing. The idyllic afternoon shatters into a nightmare of explosions and tearing metal. The first rockets strike the ship's communication antennas, instantly severing the Liberty's connection to the outside world. The crew is deaf and mute. The element of surprise is total and devastating. The jets strafe the deck, their machine guns ripping through steel and flesh. Men who were moments ago enjoying the sun are cut down where they stand. The deck becomes a scene of chaos and carnage. As the crew scrambles to fight fires and tend to the wounded, a second wave of aircraft attacks. This time they are Mistar jets dropping napalm. The ship is engulfed in a horrific inferno. The sticky, jellied fire clings to everything it touches, the deck, the bulkheads, and the men. The heat is unbearable, the smoke thick and choking. Survivors describe a hellscape of flames, screams, and the constant roar of attacking jets. Captain McGonigal is severely wounded on the bridge, his leg shredded by shrapnel, but he refuses to leave his post. Bleeding profusely, he continues to command his ship, desperately trying to steer it away from the coast while his men fight for their lives. Just as the air attack subsides, a new threat emerges from the sea. 3 Israeli motor torpedo boats are speeding towards the crippled Liberty. They open fire with cannons and machine guns, riddling the ship's hull with yet more holes. The sailors on the Liberty, armed with just for machine guns, try to fight back. One gunner manages to empty a magazine at a torpedo boat before being killed. Amid the chaos, a young signalman finds a large, backup American flag and under fire climbs the mast to hoist it, hoping the attackers will finally recognize who they are firing upon, but it makes no difference. At 2:41 p.m., one of the torpedo boats fires its deadly payload. A torpedo strikes the Liberty midship on the starboard side, right in the heart of its research spaces. The explosion is catastrophic. It tears a 40-foot hole in the hull, instantly killing 25 men working in the classified sections below deck. Water pours into the ship, and it begins to list dangerously. The USS Liberty is dying. The torpedo boats circle for another 40 minutes, machine gunning the life rafts that the crew attempts to lower into the water. It seems as if they want no survivors. Then, just as suddenly as it began, the attack stops. The torpedo boats turn and speed away. The silence that follows is deafening, broken only by the groans of the wounded and the crackle of fires. The USS Liberty is a floating wreck, barely afloat. 34 American servicemen are dead or dying, and 171 are wounded. The ship is riddled with over 821 rocket and cannon holes, not to mention the massive torpedo gash. It's one of the deadliest attacks on a U.S. naval vessel since World War II in the aftermath. The story becomes even more complex. Israel quickly apologized for the attack, claiming it was a tragic case of mistaken identity. They said their pilots and naval crews had mistaken the Liberty for an Egyptian horse transport ship. The El-Queer, despite the clear differences in size, speed, and markings. The U.S. government, under President Lyndon B. Johnson, publicly accepted the apology. The official inquiry was swift and, according to many survivors, incomplete. The crew was ordered to remain silent about the details of the attack. They were threatened with court-martial and prison if they spoke to the press or even their own families. This official silence created a deep and lasting controversy. Many of the survivors, including high-ranking officers on board, have always disputed the official story. They point to the clear weather, the large American flag flying, and the extended period of surveillance before the attack as evidence that it could not have been a mistake. They believe the attack was deliberate. Why? Theories abound. Some believe Israel intended to sink the ship without a trace to prevent the U.S. from learning about its impending military plans in the Golan Heights. Others suggest it was to stop the Liberty from intercepting communications that might reveal sensitive Israeli operations. The survivors of the USS Liberty have fought for decades for a full public congressional investigation into the attack. They feel betrayed not only by the attackers but by their own government, which they believe prioritized diplomatic relations over the truth and the honor of its own servicemen. Captain McGonigal was awarded the Medal of Honor for his incredible bravery, but the ceremony was held in private at the Washington Navy Yard, not at the White House as is customary, further fueling suspicions of a cover-up. Today, the story of the USS Liberty remains one of the most contentious episodes in U.S. naval history. It's a story of incredible courage under fire, of survival against all odds, and of a lingering quest for answers. The men who lived through that terrifying afternoon in 1967 carry not only the physical scars but the heavy burden of a truth they feel has been buried for too long. Their fight for recognition and a full accounting of what happened on that sunny June day continues. The legacy of the USS Liberty serves as a somber reminder that in the complex world of international politics and warfare, the truth can often be the first casualty. Thank you for watching. If you found this story compelling, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into forgotten history.